all of your support this morning. I'm going to introduce our bailiff, and she is going to give you an audience briefing and tell you a little bit, but I am just so proud of my class today and all the hard work that they've put in. I want to stress to all of you parents that this is not a play that we have rehearsed. The students have prepared their questions and their opening and closing statements, and our witnesses are prepared by getting into their characters. So as we go along, we're not quite certain how it's going to turn out, but we're excited, and I just wanted to stress again that this is not a play. And thank you to our jury members over here that have been chosen this morning. We appreciate your help. And parents, if you could turn off your cell phones, that would be most appreciated. All right? So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Emmy Lopez, our bailiff this morning.
Welcome to our mock trial. This trial will follow the format of an actual trial, and the following courtroom rules will apply. All participants and observers rise when the judge enters the courtroom. The judge instructs the jury about the trial it is about to hear. Opening statements will be given by attorneys for the plaintiff and for the defense. Attorneys for the plaintiff will begin direct questioning of the witnesses. After each witness is questioned, attorneys for the defense may cross-examine. Attorneys for the defense will begin direct questioning of the witnesses for defense. After each witness is questioned, attorneys for the plaintiff may cross-examine. After each side has completed questioning, attorneys for each side will give summations or closing statements. The jury will then deliberate. The judge will ask if the jury has reached a verdict, and the foreperson will answer, "We have, Your Honor." The judge may ask to see the verdict in writing or may the foreperson to state the jury's decision. In a civil trial, a unanimous decision is not required. In most states, of the 6 or 7 of the 12 juries must agree for a verdict to be reached. The opposing side in the mock trial will not met prior to the court appearance. They have prepared questions for their own witnesses, but do not know what may be asked of their witnesses on cross-examination. This is not a play. Neither side knows what opposition has prepared in terms of direct or cross-examination questions. All rise. Department 1 of the Superior Court is now in session. Judge Master John presiding. I mean, Judge Beal presiding.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Gentlemen, calling the case of King and Hamilton against Miller. At 9:10 p.m. on July 15th, Jackie King, age of 17, and Jill Hamilton, age of 16, drove up a hill known to residents of Ferndale as Miller's Hill. When they reached the summit of the hill, King got out of the car, took a pail out of the trunk of her car, a Toyota with the license plate Z598T, and walked over to Harvey Miller's well, which was on the property of the defendant. King lowered the bucket into the well, filled it, and started to return to her car. However, she slipped on the wet ground, breaking the crown on her front tooth. Jill came out to assist Jackie. Upon hearing the noise, a large Doberman ran out barking loudly towards Jackie and Jill. The Doberman was Harvey Miller's dog. It startled Jill, and she slipped and fell, breaking her arm and leg. Mr. Miller came out of his house, assessed the damage, and called for an ambulance. The police came and took Hamilton to the hospital. King went to the dentist the following morning. The two of them are asking for $15,500 for medical bills, dentist bills, and pain and suffering caused by the injuries. The defendant denies any liability for injuries and suffering. He claims that the plaintiffs are guilty of contributory negligence held only by trespassing on his property, by doing so at night when visibility was limited. Are both sides ready?
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Bailiff, can you please swear the jury?
Will the jury please stand and raise your right hand? Do each of you swear that you will fairly try the case before this court, and that you will return a true verdict according to the evidence and the instructions of the court, so help you God? Please say, I do. I do. You may be seated.
Plaintiff, defendant, give your opening statements.
Ladies and gentlemen, on July 15th, plaintiffs Jackie King and Jill Hamilton drove up in Miss King's car to defendant Harvey Miller's Hill. They were driving home as they were neighbors, and rather than going to their local fast food restaurant for a cold drink, they rationalized that they could drink water from Miller's well. King and Hamilton drove up to the hill and stopped, leaving their headlights on to shine on the well. King left the car while Hamilton stayed and took out a pail from her trunk so she could raise the water from the well. She then walked to the well where she lowered the bucket until it reached the water. After raising the water from the well, King was walking back to her car when she tripped on a loose rock and slipped on the mud, breaking the crown on her front tooth. Hearing the commotion, Hamilton came out of the car to assist her companion. Miller and his Doberman also heard King's fall, and the dog came out of the house barking. Due to the poor conditions of the ground and the large barking dog, Hamilton also slipped on the mud. The slip resulted in a broken right arm and a broken left leg. You will hear testimony today that Harvey Miller is guilty of creating an attractive nuisance by not taking care of the muddy grounds around the well, not setting up fences or warning signs, and not tying up the large Doberman that startled Hamilton. Robin Nelson, our witness, will tell you about how Miller didn't have his well or property fenced. We are sure that after you hear our witness and plaintiff's complaints and our attorney team's evidence, you will agree that Harvey Miller should be held liable for the severe injuries that Jackie King and Jill Hamilton experienced. In addition, we are sure that the members of the jury, will agree that King and Hamilton should receive compensation for their medical bills and Hamilton's lost wages at her job at Shotwell, as well as the money she's asking for the pain and suffering because of the injuries caused in Miller's property.
Defendant, you may present your opening statement.
Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, our client, Mr. Harvey Miller, is completely innocent and is not liable for the $15,500 the prosecution claims that he owes. The two injuries of the two teenagers were a direct result of their trespassing onto our client's property to steal water from his own well without permission. They then, because that night their vision is already bad, slipped and fell, and because of their recklessness, had their injury. Jackie King broke the crown on her tooth, while Jill Hamilton broke her arm and leg. His well may be an attractive nuisance like the plaintiff's claim, but he did his duty by using what little money he had to put up some no trespassing signs that were unfortunately stolen to stop kids from taking water without permission and possibly hurting themselves, as he didn't have enough money to pay for a fence or to get rid of the well. We claim that Jackie King and Jill Hamilton are liable for their own injuries because of their contributory negligence and by going to Mr. Miller's well at night when it's dark out, and because they were trespassing by going up to Miller's Hill. Jackie and Jill trespassed onto Mr. Miller's property. They assumed that Harvey thought it was okay for them to drink his water out of the well, instead of going to drink sodas like Jackie suggested. The definition of trespassing is to enter the owner's land or property without permission. They should have known going onto someone else's land, Mr. Miller's private property, without asking them was trespassing. Also, Harvey Miller's dog regrets is not at fault for causing Miss Hamilton to fall, as dogs are not required to wear leashes if they're on their own property. And it was the teen's fault for startling the dog by Jackie dropping the bucket. The bucket found at the area around the well, similar to when a skunk knocked over our client's garbage can, causing Rex to bark loudly. We also believe that the ground that Jill slipped on was wet because of Jackie spilling the water from the bucket she dropped. Our witness today will be Lee Simpson, the cop who came to the scene and knew Mr. Miller before the incident, and Jaime Gilbert, our client's neighbor, who will testify about Mr. Miller. With this evidence, we will prove how our client is not liable for the injuries of the plaintiffs.
The plaintiff may call upon its first witness.
I would like to call out Jackie King and Jill Hamilton. I would like to call out Jackie. Your Honor, I would like to call out Jackie. Please stand. Raise your right hand. Do you promise that the testimony you shall give in the case before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you. Please state your first and last name. Jackie King. You may be seated. I What is your name?
Jackie King.
Where do you live?
I live at 838 Cherry Lane in Ferndale.
How old are you?
I am currently 17 years old.
This makes you a minor, correct?
Yes.
Your Honor, the law states that if minors are hurt while trespassing one's property, is the property owner's responsibility. Do you know Harvey Miller?
Not personally, but he is famous around town for letting people drink from his well.
Is it true that he got injured on Miller's property?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd like to present Exhibit A. This is the rock that Jackie King slipped on and caused the accident. A rock tripped you, correct?
Yes.
Is this rock familiar?
Yes.
Is this the rock that injured you?
Yes.
Is it true that the crown of your front tooth was damaged?
Yes.
You were on the property in the first place because the well was an attractive nuisance, correct?
Yes.
Your Honor, I would like to present Exhibit B, showing
The rock will be admitted as King and Hamilton's public exhibit number 1.
damages for Jackie's accident. Is this the dental bill? The dental bill for your damaged crown?
Yes.
Can you say that Miller is responsible for your injury because the accident was on his own?
Yes.
The dental bill will be admitted as King and Hamilton's public exhibit number 2.
Your Honor, I would like to call Jill Hamilton to the stand. Your Honor, the question is finished.
Does the defense have any questions?
Yes. Jackie, did any water spill from the bucket when you dropped it?
Yes. Most of the water.
When and have you ever been around Mr. Miller's house or well?
That was the first time I had ever been around this pool.
Jackie, when you were questioned for the affidavit, you talked about how the water tasted, and I quote, very good. Have you ever tasted this water before? Why did you know going onto Mr. Miller's property was trespassing if you knew you needed to ask our client for permission?
He usually lets any children drink from his well and I thought because I was entitled I could kind of water from his well.
Have you ever seen one of the no trespassing signs before, as Mr. Miller put them up before? How was the weather that day, specifically the temperature?
It was hot outside and we just wanted to get our drinks ready, so just the water.
Thank you, that's all.
The witness is excused. Plaintiff may call upon its next witness.
Your Honor, I would like to call Jill Hamilton to the stand. Please stand. Raise your right hand. You promise that the testimony you shall give in the case before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you. Please state your first and last name. Jill Hamilton. You may be seated. I'd like to claim that Harvey Miller should have kept his dog Rex on a leash. Miller is responsible for Jill's accident. What is your name?
My name is Jill Hamilton.
How old are you?
I'm currently 17 years old.
Where do you live?
I live on 834 Cherry Lane in Ferndale.
How do you know Harvey Miller?
I do not personally know Harvey Miller. I just know that he is a kind man and he would let anyone use his well.
Were you affected by Miller's dog?
Yes.
Miller's dog was not kept on a leash when he startled you, correct?
Yes.
There would have been no damage done if Miller had kept a leash on his dog, correct?
Yes.
Your Honor, I would like to present.
Say it out loud, Justin.
Objection.
What is the objection?
So, the water,
The attorney is testifying. Is there a question?
you had claimed that the
The attorney is
The
testifying.
attorney is testifying.
The attorney is testifying.
She's supposed to be asking questions, not testifying. Rule. Overruled or sustained?
Sustained.
Your Honor, I would like to present Exhibit C, the medical bills for Hamilton's broken left leg and broken right arm. Are these bills familiar?
Yes.
Are these the bills for your injured left leg and right arm?
Yes.
What is the total cost for all of the damages?
My injuries cost $3,000 and the loss from my income was $2,000.
Your Honor, I'm finished questioning.
Does the defense have any questions? Yes, Your Honor. Jill, how long have you known Jackie?
I have known her since 7th grade.
Did you feel like the dog attacked you?
Yes.
Did the dog harm you at any point?
Yes.
Have you ever been to Miller's Well?
No.
Why did you agree to going onto Mr. Miller's property, which, may I remind you, is trespassing?
We went on his property because Jackie and I wanted a cold drink of water.
That is the end of my question. The witness is excused. The plaintiff may call upon the final witness.
Your Honor, I would like to call Robin Nelson to the stand. Please stand. Raise your right hand. You promise that the testimony you shall give in the case before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. I do. Please say your first and last name. Robin Nelson. You may be seated.
What is your name?
My name is Robin Nelson.
How old are you?
I'm currently 19 years old.
And where do you live?
I live on 43 Park Lane, Cedar Hills.
Do you know what dog Harvey Miller has?
I believe he has a Doberman.
Do you know what a Doberman is?
Yes, it is a large dog of a German breed with powerful jaws and a smooth coat, typically black with tan markings.
Are they intimidating to you?
Yes, since they have powerful jaws, they can easily give you an infection.
Was the dog on a leash?
No, I believe he was not on a leash.
Do you think it's safe to keep a big Doberman off of a leash?
I think it should be kept on a leash because Dobermans are very fretful and their bark could be worse.
Objection, Your Honor.
What is the reason for the objection?
The Doberman was on the owner's property. There is no need for it to be on a leash if it's on their own property.
Sustained.
Okay. Now, Robin, do you think the well was furnished at all lately?
I do not.
Do you know the law of attractive nuisances?
Yes, I know that when the well is leaky, that it is the owner's fault for not fixing it.
Objection.
What is the reason for the objection?
Harvey Miller did not have enough money to repair the well, and all he could do was put up the trespassing signs.
Overruled.
I'm done with my questioning, Your Honor.
The witness is excused.
The defense would like to question the witness.
What is your question?
Robin, what is your relation to the plaintiffs?
I'm related to Jill because we both work together at Shoppo's supermarket.
In your affidavit, you said the well was awfully deep. So can you tell us how deep the well is?
I do not know how deep it is.
Give a rough estimate how deep it is, as you've been there before and seen in the well and commented on how deep it is.
I believe I would estimate it's around 6 feet.
Objection.
What is the reason for the objection?
On the grounds of relevance, why does how deep the well matter?
To prove that Jackie caused the ground to be wet by spilling her bucket.
Why does it matter how deep the well is?
Because if the well is so deep, it's hard. It wouldn't be possible for water to spill out from the well onto the ground.
The objection is sustained.
That concludes my questioning.
The witness is excused. Is the defendant ready to present their case?
Yes, the defense is ready.
Do you have any more witnesses?
No, you don't.
Is the defendant ready to present their case?
Yes, Your Honor, we are.
The defendant may call upon its first witness.
The defense would like to call the defendant, Harvey Miller, up to the stand.
Please stand. Raise your right hand. Do you promise that the testimony you shall give in the case before this court shall be the truth, the only truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your first and last name.
Harvey Miller.
You may be seated.
So, what is your name?
Harvey Miller.
And where do you reside currently?
I currently reside on 1 Miller's Lane.
And why did you open your door that night?
I opened my door to investigate the loud banging noise coming from outside caused by Jackie's pail dropping.
Had anyone been to the well earlier that day to get water?
No one came in close proximity to the well.
What parts of your land are your own private property?
My own private property is my house, the land around it, and the land around it, including the well.
How high up on the hill is the well?
The well is on the very top of the hill, about 25 feet.
When did you start putting up no trespassing signs to stop kids from taking water without permission?
I put them as soon as I could, which was a long time ago, but they kept on getting stolen.
And how does your dog Rex usually react?
He's usually not aggressive. He rarely ever barks and has never bitten a person.
And I have no further questions.
Does the plaintiff have any questions?
Yes, Your Honor.
What is your name?
Harvey Miller.
How old are you?
What is the reason for the objection?
Irrelevance.
Sustained.
How would you describe your reputation in the area?
I believe I'm famous for allowing kids to take my water, but only if they ask.
Has a similar situation with the well occurred before?
I cannot recall a similar situation.
Were you aware that the well was an attractive nuisance?
I'm well aware that my well has very fine water, but I do not believe. Yes, I'm aware.
How would you describe the well's condition?
The well's condition is not great because I have little money to repair it, but no one should have been on my property anyway.
Have you ever purposely changed the well's condition or structure in any way in the past?
No, I do not believe so.
Were you aware that the well could cause harm to any people?
No, because I did not think that someone would trespass on my land during the night.
How would you describe Rex's reputation in the area?
Since he's a Doberman, he looks pretty aggressive, but he's actually a very passive dog and rarely ever barks.
Can you give examples of this calm and sensitive behavior?
Yes, he has never ever bitten someone or attacked something, and he only barked one other time.
How does Rex normally act when he feels threatened?
The only other time when he felt threatened was when a skunk knocked over a garbage can. He darted out my door and started barking at the noise.
Can you recall seeing Jackie before?
I felt like when I saw Jackie, I knew her face, but I couldn't recall where.
Can you recall seeing Jill before?
No.
Can you elaborate on the trussing sign situation?
I put up trespassing signs when the number of kids became too great that were trying to take my water, but unfortunately they were all stolen and I didn't have enough money to create new ones.
Can you elaborate on Jackie and Jill's physical state after the incident?
After I heard the pail fall and the girl scream, I went outside to investigate. The girl looked pretty injured, so I called the police.
What are your thoughts on trespassing and home safety?
I feel kind of bad for Jackie and Jill because they were severely hurt, but I'm also angry that they trespassed my land without asking me.
And what is your purpose for keeping a Doberman?
Objection, Your Honor.
What is the reason for the objection?
Irrelevance.
Sustained.
That is Your Honor.
The witness is excused. Defendant may call upon its next witness.
I would like to call up Ethan and Ron.
Raise your right hand. Do you promise that the testimony you shall give me before this, in this case before this court shall be truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your first and last name.
Lee, what did the car look like at the time when you saw it?
The car's headlights were on, but the engine was shut off.
How many signs did Mr. Millen claim to have disappeared?
Mr. Millen claims to his signs, many have disappeared.
What was the license plate number for the car?
Z5-980.
How far away was Rex from Mrs. Hamilton?
The dog was 20 feet from her and did not touch her.
That is the end to my questioning, Your Honor.
Does the plaintiff have any questions?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you know if Mr. Miller's well was popular around the town?
Yes.
Now, in your APN, you stated that there is no grass around the well. Why was that?
Because,
Objection, Your Honor.
What is the reason for the objection?
Irrelevance.
How was that mud caused?
from the water spill from the bucket.
And then, okay. Do you think the well was furnished lately?
No.
Excuse me, Your Honor, but because of the popularity of the well and the poor condition of it, the property can be labeled to hold an attractive nuisance. Like I have said before, the California state law states in which it states that California landowners are liable for any harm suffered on their property. This defends my clients. That is all I have to question, Your Honor.
The witness is excused. The defendant may call upon his next witness.
I would like to call up Jaime Gilbert, Your Honor.
Please stare. Stay right there. You promise that the testimony you shall give in the case before this court shall be truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God.
I do.
Please state your first and last name.
My name is Jaime Gilbert.
You may be seated.
Jaime, do you know the kids who stole the no trespassing signs?
No, I don't, but I have seen them.
Do they look like anybody here?
No, they don't.
Has there ever been an accident on Miller Street before?
No, it's a relatively quiet place.
How is Miller money-wise?
Not very, he's not very good money-wise. He doesn't even have enough money to get rid or to fence his well.
That is the end of my questioning, Your Honor.
Does the plaintiff have any questions?
Yes, Your Honor.
What is your relation with Harvey Miller?
I'm his neighbor.
What is Harvey Miller's reputation in the area?
Well, he's very famous for his well water, which tastes very good.
Do people, adults and children, seem to have a natural attraction to the well?
Kind of.
Can you elaborate on that?
Because the water tastes so good. A lot of kids will go and ask Mr. Miller so they can have some of his water.
How would you describe Rex's reputation in the area?
Well, everybody in my neighborhood knows that Rex is a quiet and very nice dog. In the beginning, he at first looks very mean, but he actually isn't.
Can you give examples of Rex's so-called calm behavior?
Well, he's never attacked anyone, and he only barked once.
On the night of the incident, how was Rex reacting to the situation?
Well, I think Rex was actually scared by the loud noises.
On the night of the incident, how was Harvey Miller reacting to the situation?
Well, at first he, I didn't see what happened because I was in my house.
Were people aware of the danger the well presented before this incident?
I think most of them.
Are people now aware of the dangers that the well presents?
Yes.
Do you and your team believe that you should win?
Yes.
And why is that?
Because the plaintiffs are the ones that trespassed.
End of question, Your Honor.
The witness is excused. Does the have any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Both the plaintiff and the defense have now rested their cases. The attorneys will now present their final arguments. Please remember, what the attorneys say is not evidence. However, do listen closely. They are intended to aid you in the understanding of the case. Plaintiff, you may begin.
Ladies and gentlemen, the defendant would have you believe that Jackie King and Jill Hamilton are guilty of contributory negligence not only by trespassing on his property, but also doing so at night when visibility was limited. We have proved otherwise. King and Hamilton may have been on Miller property, but the two underage minors were drawn by Miller's attractive nuisance. You have heard from King and Hamilton, who can both tell you how they used car headlights so they could easily see, and how they were drawn to the well's water, which is said to be, by many, to be better than faucet water and famous around town. Being under the age of maturity, Jackie King and Jill Hamilton are able to claim that they were drawn to Miller's well because it is an attractive nuisance. When King and Hamilton visited Miller's property to get a drink of water, they reported that there were no signs or fences on the property. Witness Rodman Nelson can also confirm that claim. The property didn't have any fences or no trespassing signs, which gives people under the age of maturity thoughts that they should be allowed on the property without asking for permission. Even though Miller claims that his no trespassing signs were stolen, he didn't report the stolen signs until it became a problem. The fact that Miller also never said no to any child who asked to drink from his well also gave King and Hamilton the idea that it was okay to visit the well. The laws of an attractive nuisance state that when someone under the age of maturity is injured on someone else's property when they were drawn to something, in our case, water from the well, the property owner is to blame if he or she is aware of the child's presence. Miller was aware of King and Hamilton's presence on his property when he heard the commotion outside. When the landowner knows the children may trespass, he is also to blame. Miller was aware that children often come to drink water. If the landowner is able to fix the problem at a reasonable cost, then he is also to blame. All Miller had to do was clear any loose rocks around the well, which he is capable of doing by hand. Since Hamilton and King were able to understand and enjoy the hazard of being the well, Miller is the owner of an attractive nuisance. The visit to Miller's attractive nuisance caused Miss Hamilton to break her left leg and right arm. Miss Hamilton requests $3,000 to cover her medical bills and also another $2,000 for the wages she lost from her job at Shopwell. Miller is responsible to pay these fines because it was his carelessness in creating an attractive nuisance that Miss Hamilton was injured. As a result from this, Miss Hamilton would also like to request $10,000 from Mr. Miller for the pain and suffering that she had to endure. Even though she requests a large sum of money from Mr. Miller, this would have been avoided if Miller was more responsible about his well. Ms. King requests $500 for her dental bills. Because Mr. Miller didn't take good care of his property, Ms. King broke the front crown on her tooth. This injury was also caused by Miller's carelessness, and he should be able to face the punishment for his mistake by agreeing to pay for the injuries of Jackie King and Jill Hamilton. We're sure that you will agree that Harvey Miller is guilty of creating an attractive nuisance. Mr. Miller is responsible for damages created by his own ignorance, and he should have been more concerned for the safety of the many children who visit his well. That was the argument.
Defense, you may proceed with your closing arguments.
Your Honor. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, Harvey Miller has done nothing wrong and has been falsely accused. Jackie and Jill had trespassed onto Mr. Miller's property and had attempted to take water without permission. They are now suing our client for their own incompetence to have common sense and their own stupidity. They were breaking the law by trespassing onto our client's land to take water from his well and claim that the well is an attractive nuisance. Our client did all he could to protect children from the well and did his duty in protecting kids from the well by putting up no trespassing signs that were stolen. He didn't have enough money to do anything else, as his grandpa put up the well and he was left with it without any money to get rid of it. Accusing Harvey is a mistake, and there is no reason why the plaintiff should be suing us, because Jackie and Jill were the ones committing illegal actions by trespassing onto Mr. Miller's property. That is all, Your Honor.
Members of the jury, you have heard all of the testimony concerning this case. It is up to you to determine the facts. You and you alone are the judges of the fact. Once you decide what facts the evidence proves, you must then apply the law as they give it to you to the facts as you find them. Here are the relevant laws. The age of maturity, the age at which one is considered an adult, 18 years. Assumption of risk, the deliberate choice of an individual to risk a known danger. Attractive nuisance, something that is dangerous to children, attractive, alluring, or enticing to them, and allows children to create a danger out of it. Persons with such object or condition on the premises owe a duty to protect children from such danger. Contributory negligence occurs when an individual's conduct falls below the standard to which he or she is required to conform for her protection, his or her protection. The standard that is that of a reasonable person under the circumstances. Punitive damages, damages awarded by the court to punish a defendant, as for serious wrong. And trespass, an unlawful intentional intrusion on another person's property or person. Jury, can you please discuss your verdict? We're excused to go discuss your verdict.
So let me introduce you to our fabulous judge, Ren Beal. Let's give him a big round of applause. We are going to sequester you off stage now so that you don't hear any of what the jury is discussing. We'll bring you back in when they're ready. The bailiff will get you. Didn't you do a great job? Fabulous. Fabulous. I want to also introduce you to our bailiff, Emily Lopez over there. She's doing a great job. And let me introduce you to our plaintiff team. Nice job, ladies. Go ahead and stand up. Nice job. So, lead counsel is Fiona Salisbury over there. And then for attorney team, we have Carlene Dong, Skylar Lee, so everybody can see you, Joelle Wong, and Yuna Shim. And our fabulous teenagers, Jackie King and Jill Hamilton, represented by Cody Hansen and Colette Kim. And their very dear friend, Robin, I can't remember the last name, Nelson Sancho. Turn around so everybody can get your picture. There we go. Nice. Great job. All right, ladies, nice work. All right, gentlemen, our defendant lead attorney, please give it up for Justin Huff. Nice job. And his attorney team, Nathan Wynn. Jonathan Yu. Representing Harvey Miller, represented by Tyler Yang. Did a very good job, very good job. And his friends down there, Jaime Gilbert, represented by Jonathan Chow. And Lee Simpson, that's right, represented by Joseph Parker. Are you smiling, gentlemen, for your camera pictures? There we go. Did a great job. All right, nice work, gentlemen. I also want to introduce you to our TV crews that are here today. Representing Channel 2 News, we have Marcus DePratt and Joshua Cannon. representing Channel 4 News. No, Channel 7, Channel 4. Channel 4 News, stand up, Preston Bank and Andrew Roth. And Channel 7 News, Matthew Vaught and Guan Yong Park. All right, I need to introduce our set design crew. Go ahead and stand up, set design. We have our wonderful set design crew, Tiana, Katie, Gianna, Sid, and Susie. Let's give them a big round of applause for decorating our set today. Nice job, ladies. All right, and without further ado, I need to introduce our court reporters / commercial crew that have a commercial for you. I feel the need to apologize ahead of time, but I'm not going to because they're just fabulous. Let's hear it for Calvin, Corey, Joab, and Caleb. You want to use the microphone? You don't need the microphone. You have 3 commercials, we know.
This month trial was sponsored by the Muffin Bun Company. Muffins, they're good.
Has this ever happened to you?
Gee, I sure want a muffin right now.
Well, with the all-new Muffin Button, you can get a muffin whenever you want.
Wow!
Not the muffins, not to mention the muffins.
Take 2.
Not to mention, the muffins can form a protective shield around you. A shield that can form a crust around you, strong enough to survive entire planets floating, and can feed you until you reach another planet. So buy now!
Oh wait, there's more!
If you order in the next 37 hours, we'll include the all-new bacon switch. With the bacon switch, you can be making bacon whenever you want.
Bacon.
Wow! Not to mention, the bacon doubles as a bacon sword, strong enough to make entire planets, and can feed you for until you get sick of it, which I can guarantee will not actually happen. So buy now!
Well, wait, there's even more!
If you order the Muffin Button and bacon switch in the next 33 minutes, we'll give you with the premium, limited edition, super deluxe omega hype outlet stage grade ultra nice premium incredible amazing mega nice cool Muffin Button mug. The Muffin Button mug features a stylish design which is made especially just for you by our caring staff.
No, we do not actually know how these products work. Please keep the bad times and negative feelings in our fault. Please keep out of reach of small children below the age of 22. Thank you.
Was that the Muffin Button? Are we going on to another commercial?
Yes.
All right, let's give a commercial.
Hey you! Yeah, you. I bet you're really bad at grammar.
No, I is a bestest on one
Thought so. I bet you could like entertainment. It's very entertaining, right? And cool, right?
No.
Oh no, you're that was an acronym for clever acronym. Acronyms are one of the many things we teach at Schnaller-Florb Grammar School for Gifted Youngsters. But you need to act now because this is your last chance to sign up. Sign up to words like salutations, anti-disestablishmentarianism, Watsonauxony helipophilification. This one.
There's nothing on here.
Flip it around.
Oh.
Exactly. So sign up now at Schnaller-Florb Grammar School for Gifted Youngsters. Peas and tails.
Hi, I'm Corey. You may know me from advertisements such as Bink and Boink. Now I'm here to introduce the all-new Bonk. With the all-new Bonk, you can bonk. Using this handy-dandy water, bonk, you can bonk anyone, which totally isn't just hitting them. But wait, there's more. Bonk can, oh shit, that's your one. Wait, there's more. Bonk can actually make you live longer. Recent studies show that happiness leads to longer lives, and bonk will make you happy. So what are you waiting for? Bonk!
No, bonking may be dangerous. Keep this product away from snakes. Also, bonking is not to be confused with boing. Thank you.
Wow, let's have a big round of applause for our commercial entertainment. Woo! Nice job, Chad. Nice job. All right, at this time, we're going to ask that we whisper quietly. Our TV reporters may want to interview some of our attorneys or even our families of our, I think Harvey Miller's parent was here. She may have had to leave. Okay. Are Jackie and Jill's parents still here? They may have had to leave. They may have had to leave. So our TV reporters are going to be interviewing some of you and some of the attorneys. Please say yes at this point if they ask you some questions, or the court reporters. And we just need to keep it down to a whisper because our jury is in this room right here. And if you'll notice, there's space right there so they can hear everything that we're saying. And in past years, if we've gotten too loud, then they can't concentrate. So we're just going to whisper. We call it the whisper game, which means you can just talk quietly and whisper with each other while we're waiting for the jury. Thank you. Jury has reached a verdict, so let's get everyone back in your spots. Nice. All right, our bailiff is going to bring the jury back in, and then she'll bring the judge. Well, there we go. Bring the judge back in. He's right here. There we go. And then Emmy, if you want to go bring the jury back in. You know what, and I absolutely want to introduce our other judge that is here by proxy. Everyone, this is Elliot Masterjohn joining us today. All right, turn him around. No. I know.
But then, you know, like, on towers, like, so then I got to know who Elliot is. Pastor John.
Jury, have you reached a verdict?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. But that one,
May I see the ring? What say you?
Harvey Miller shall not be held responsible for the accident involving Jack King and Jill Hamilton.
Thank you, jury, for your service today. Court is adjourned.
I feel. Yes.